Just like January 6th, where ultra mega MAGA fans were willing to commit felonies in the name of Donald Trump, it looks like more Trump supporters are willing to do illegal things for their convicted felon of a Republican nominee. Trump supporters tried to dox jurors and post violent threats after his conviction. On social media and web forums, users called for jurors, judges, and prosecutors to be deleted after the former president was found guilty on 34 felony counts. The 34 felony guilty verdicts returned Thursday against former President Donald Trump spurred a wave of violent rhetoric aimed at prosecutors who secured his conviction, the judge who oversaw the case, and the ordinary jurors who unanimously agreed there was no reasonable doubt that the presumptive Republican presidential nominee falsified business records related to hush money payments to a porn star to benefit his 2016 campaign. Advanced Democracy, a nonprofit that conducts public interest research, said there has been a high volume of social media posts containing violent rhetoric targeting the New York judge Juan Marchand and Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, including a post with Bragg's purported home address. The group also found posts of the purported addresses for jurors on a fringe internet message board known for pro-Trump content and harassing and violent posts, although it is unclear if any actual jurors have been correctly identified. The posts have been reviewed by NBC News, appear on many of the same websites used by Trump supporters to organize for violence ahead of the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. These forums were hotbeds of threats inspired by Trump's lies about the 2020 election, which he lost, and that the voting system was rigged against him. They now feature new threats echoing Trump's rhetoric and false claims about the hush money trial, including that the judicial system is now rigged against him. Dox the jurors, dox them now, one user wrote after Trump's conviction on a website known as The Donald, which was popular among participants in the Capitol attack. That post appears to have been quickly removed by the moderators. We need to identify each juror, then make them miserable, even to where they have self-deletion thoughts, wrote another user on the same forum. 1 million men armed need to go to Washington and hang everyone. That's the only solution, wrote another user. This is out of control. I hope every juror is doxxed and they pay for what they have done, another user wrote on Trump's Truth Social platform Thursday. May God strike them dead. We will on November 5th, and they will pay. One January 6th defendant who already served time in prison for his role in the Capitol attack also weighed in on X, posting a photo of Bragg and a photo of a noose. Okay. January 20th, 2025, traitors get the rope, he wrote, referring to the date of the next presidential inauguration. The threats fit into an ongoing pattern. An NBC News analyst of Trump's Truth Social post earlier this year showed that he frequently uses the platform as a megaphone to attack people involved in his legal cases, and some of his supporters have responded. When the FBI searched Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in 2022, a Trump supporter who had been at the Capitol on January 6 sent angry posts about the search and then attacked an FBI office. These people are not well. They literally are such cultists that they are willing to harm other people and continue to put their own freedoms and finances in peril over a man who is a convicted felon, a liar, a cheater, and all of that. But the cult of Trump is violent. How are people still so enthralled with this loser convicted felon? When Trump made a social media post last June that included former President Barack Obama's home address, a January 6th rioter reposted it and then showed up at the residence. When Trump was indicted in Georgia in August, his supporters posted the purported names and addresses of members of the grand jury. Special counsel Jack Smith, who was overseeing Trump's federal election interference case in Washington, was the target of an attempted swatting on Christmas Day. So, too, was U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, who will oversee the trial. If the Supreme Court allows it to go forward, though that could change if Trump wins in November. When Michael Fanone, the former police officer nearly unalived on January 6th by Trump supporters who believed the former president's lies about the 2020 election, criticized Trump at a press conference outside the hush money trial earlier this week, his mother was swatted. When Trump and conservative media outlets spread false information about the jury instructions in the hush money case this week, threats against Merchan rolled in. We are continuing to see a dangerous erosion of democratic norms, Daniel J. Jones, president of Advanced Democracy, said in a statement to NBC News. Trump and his allies have been spreading disinformation about the trial, challenging Justice Merchan's impartiality, and describing the entire process as rigged for weeks. As such, it's not a surprise that some of his most fervent supporters are now calling for doxing and violence against jurors, the judge, and the district attorney. Judge Jones said online activity has been increasing in the wake of Trump's guilty verdict, which makes it important for elected officials to speak out against the disinformation Trump is spreading, as well as the calls for violence he is inspiring. This man is dangerous. He knows that his people are like heat-seeking missiles out to get people. And this is not how it goes. He wanted to take down his political enemies. And now he is caught up in the legal system that he tried to wield against his enemies. And his supporters can't take it, and his ego can't take it. But this man is now a convicted felon who is attempting to use these people to get them some felonies. I really hope that they take some of these people down that are posting these threatening messages and doxing people. Y'all weigh in on this one.
Hillary Clinton being petty is my favorite Hillary Clinton. Watch as she steps up to the podium shortly after finding out that Donald Trump was convicted on 34 criminal charges.
Thank you so much. Anything going on today?
She's earned the right to be that petty, especially after we found out today that Donald Trump broke the law in order to try to win an election in 2016.
Trump and his merry band of MAGA fans were so hype about lock her up, and how he would act like he's really going to go after his political enemies and lock them up. And now they are clutching their pearls like, oh my God, this is just election interference. No, this dude is a convicted felon. He's been doing illegal activities, and he's finally being held accountable for his actions.
Be allowed to run. Okay, sure. And I'm not talking about what happened last Friday. I'm talking about right now. She shouldn't be allowed to run. When you look at General Cartwright, 4-star general, for doing almost nothing by comparison, could serve 5 years in jail. That happened 2 weeks ago. General Petraeus destroyed their lives for doing nothing by comparison. How about the young man took pictures of his submarine? He wanted to have some pictures. The submarine's not like it's a brand new submarine, it's many years old. They put him in jail for a year. And she does all of these different things. They're also conducting a second criminal investigation into Hillary's illegal pay-for-play corruption at the State Department. There's virtually no doubt that FBI Director Comey and the great special agents of the FBI will be able to collect more than enough evidence to garner indictments against Hillary Clinton and her inner circle, despite her efforts to disparage them and to discredit them. If she were to win this election, it would create an unprecedented constitutional crisis. In that situation, we could very well have a sitting president under felony indictment and ultimately a criminal trial. It would grind government to a halt. She should.
It's just hilarious to me that they were so pressed about locking up Hillary Clinton. His fans were rabid about it. He had the crowds going, but she's still free and doesn't have any felonies on her record, and he has felonies on his record. I thought these people liked law and order. Well, maybe he shouldn't be out here committing felonies.
Lock them all up.
Now.
And another tweet. Donald Trump had crowds chant, "Lock her up," and now he's a convicted felon. I wonder how that tastes, Donald. Marge is a little peeved. She said, "If I see any account saying we need to replace President Trump with another candidate at the RNC, I will unfollow you. You are the problem. Go join the Democrats. We do not want you. We are replacing you with new voters that won't put up with dictator-style banana republic." She says this despite the fact that her party is the one that stormed the Capitol. Her party was the one in 2016 talking about lock her up, and were giddy about it. So the fact that she is getting all upset now is hysterical to me. Okay, let's hear from Alex Jones now.
Years ago, our republic was founded. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we see our republic on its deathbed right now. President Trump was just found guilty on all 34 kangaroo counts, with the judge saying you don't even have to agree, just find him guilty in total violation of law. They don't care the case will be overturned. They want the headline in this campaign that he is a convicted felon because they believe that'll backfire on President Trump. I predict, as I've done for the last year, that all these fake indictments and fake convictions that are coming will backfire on the deep state and the globalists. The problem is, if you look at their next playbook and the next card in their playbook, their next move, it will be false flag terror attacks blamed on Trump supporters angry about the verdict. We do not want any violence. We do not want any attacks. We are intellectually, culturally, spiritually winning. We've got to back Trump to the hilt. He's not perfect, but he's America first. He cares about this country, and he actually tried to be the president and turn this country around 90%. And the deep state believes they own this nation. They believe they own you. He pulled us out of the UN Health Treaty. He pulled us out of the WHO. They want all of that in place. They want to cut off our energy. They want to put the carbon taxes in. They want to dissolve our borders.
They trapped a whole bunch of us in. They trapped us in over there. They shoved people out the other side of the building. We were just trapped.
It wasn't too long ago that Donald Trump lost both the Electoral College and the popular vote, and his super fans just could not handle it. They talked so much about protest peacefully and all that good stuff, when now many of these people have felonies and can't even vote. And that makes me really happy for them, because just like their now convicted felon Republican nominee, a lot of these people are also felonious thugs, and they have actually been convicted. It makes me happy to know that so many of them have lost freedom, money, and some of their family members because they were some wild sycophants that stormed the Capitol. Kellyanne Conway has some things to say on Fox.
Verdict won't change one fundamental thing. It won't make Joe Biden any less 81 years old. It won't make Kamala Harris smarter or more inspirational. It won't excuse the fact that Joe Biden has crushed the American dream for so many people, particularly younger people. It won't make those young people on college campuses and in our halls of Congress any less mad at Biden over his position in Israel and Hamas. And it certainly won't have stopped millions of people from pouring over a border that Donald Trump warned us of 9 years ago. 9 years ago, he elevated that into the national consciousness. We have people from the terror watch list. We have people, Chinese nationals and the rest. So people are already feeling that we are not secure. We are not prosperous. They want that all back. And this will not affect their way.
And then soon following, her husband or ex-husband says maybe his lawyers should put these points in their pre-sentencing memo. Even her daughter retweeted her post with the quote, "I think you forgot to add felon," because yes, now Donald Trump is a felon. This quote tweet made me laugh. Won't make Kellyanne any less of a lying dumbass. No wonder her family doesn't like her anymore. She's a freaking lunatic. Vivek Ramaswamy says he touched down in Italy and the Italians have some questions about America and our democracy. To that, I laugh and say, yeah, right. But let's hear what Vivek has to say.
Italy. I was traveling here while the Trump verdict came down. And I have to say that when people here ask me what the heck is going on in your country, I am ashamed. If this were happening in another country, and we in the United States heard about a party in power that was using prosecutorial force to bring fake charges against a leading opponent in the middle of an election, we would call that the stuff of a banana republic. And yet now that's us. This is the stuff of how nations decline. Speaking of Italy, this is the kind of thing you would see in the fall of the ancient Roman Empire. Well, now it's happening right in our own homeland. Sometimes you go abroad and you see the way that you're viewed. It reminds you of how much our own nation has rotted at its core. The time for change is now. 2024 is a 1776 moment. I am proud to be an American, but it doesn't feel that way now when the rest of the world looks down upon the kangaroo courts that send our own political leaders to prison. Enough of it. I don't care if you're on the left or right. This is a danger to the future of our country. And I'm asking you to step up this year so we can actually get this right. We have a country to save, and if we don't get this right in the next 7 months, I think it's quite possible we don't have a country left.
Zach Lambert, whoever this is, says, in all seriousness, if you're an evangelical who hopped aboard the Trump train, it's not too late to get off. You can change your mind. You can work to make amends. You can stop supporting this garbage. The best time to do it was 8 years ago, but the second best time is now. Okay, Ryan, the Christian, told Zach to go F himself. And it is, he is a Christian because if you look, he is working to end Christianophobia, whatever that means. But just like Zach said, he is being a jerk in the name of Jesus. I doubt that Jesus would be telling people to go self-pleasure themselves. One of my Facebook friends, Lori, says, exactly, these people support Trump because they are Trump. And Trump is the polar opposite of anything Christ or the New Testament instructs. They found their orange God and they are bowing to him. They really are. They are really putting this man up on a pedestal. And what I love about it is that all of his faults are in living color. He is a liar. He is a cheater. He has stolen from multiple businesses and harmed multiple business owners. He's literally everything that, I mean, he has broken so many of their own commandments. And no matter what he does, they support him. So I love that they have no integrity as they support this man who has no integrity. This meme made me laugh because y'all know that this is what some of these Trump supporters look like or what they sound like. Don't worry, they found me guilty too. You will rise again in November. Okay, so y'all let me know. I find a lot of these people's responses to what is going on hilarious because they do not want to hold these people accountable. But not too long ago, they were really so pro locking up political enemies. And now something has changed. Oh, because their former president, their super president is now a convicted felon. So we will see if Trump still believes that that will create a constitutional crisis. Y'all let me know what you think.